this is going to be a good bout because you've got a experienced, disciplined referee who has professional experience in here for these guys. Right away, you can see both guys standing orthodox. And see if the taller fighter in better can establish the jab. And right away, kaboom!
Unbelievable right off the bat, Luke Thomas.
Fantastic, just driving double leg, got his hips up under him, lifted him and brought him down with authority. Had to be careful though, that was almost a spike.
Yeah, Aaron Better wearing the red gloves.
Look at that, getting right to work on that far side Kimura. There's a question if you can finish it from half guard. Some guys can, some guys can't. Really depends on your body type and the body type of your opponent. You can see underneath Better, a very strong guy, but he might give it the head-on triangle, trying to escape that.
Right off the bat, you can see Aaron is right on the bottom. Andrew, it looks like he is the aggressor. Horace in the blue gloves, Better in the red gloves.
We've talked about it all night. Being proactive on offense in this game matters so much. He has to watch out. If he can get the slam, it's good. Bang. So you can see right away there is a tremendous strength differential between these two. Important to note, that guillotine he has here, he needs to let it go because he can get Von Flue choke. But more importantly, when he dumped him over, he dumped him to the opposite side. That's the perfect escape.
And typically you think the taller fighter is usually the more aggressor, and this shorter fighter, 5'9", Horace, is unbelievable right now being the aggressor.
Well, you can tell he's got a bit of a wrestling experience, or that he's a natural when he's started training.
Right.
That actually is a great benefit to him against a taller opponent because you can get up under them and lift them in the way that you need to.
Remember, this fight is scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds. The referee for this event is Todd McGovern.
Fantastic job here by Horace. Didn't get the takedown at first, kept his feet moving, and finally drove across and got the takedowns he needed. Again, you see how he has the guillotine on the right side?
Yeah.
He's going to try and jump to the other side. That's the way you counter that guillotine. Still kind of caught a little bit in the guard, but it's probably not enough to finish him.
How much fun are these fights right off the bat when the first round goes off like this?
This is what you want. Now, see, the right arm of Horace is now wrapping the head of Better. That's a good way for him to put pressure on there, posture his butt up as you see that, and then maybe get out.
Horace in the blue gloves, Better in the red gloves. Better on his back, right there on top of the sand screen print logo.
If I'm Better, I'm letting go of that guillotine. It's not doing anything for him. Although I have to say, look, here's what we can tell about Horace. He's strong as an ox. Maybe his positioning lacks a little bit of discipline, but he's just a load to deal with.
And we've talked about this in the past about fighters trying to move other fighters into their corner. We're right now we're at Better's corner, and they're screaming at him to get out of this position.
Look, you can scream all you want. Either you have the skills or you don't.
Yeah.
Good job getting back to full guard there. Let's see what kind of guard he has here.
Aaron Better in the red gloves, Andrew Horace in the blue gloves. We make our way to the end of round number 1 here at Cagezilla.
Good defensive effort there from Better. The right hand was coming from Horace. Better timed it perfectly and used it to create an overhook.
10 seconds left in the round. Todd McGovern close, the referee watching closely.
Yeah, again, you're seeing just bits and pieces of scrambling. Going back to that guillotine, here's what I would say about that guillotine. If you can get it fast, go for it. Right. But if you feel yourself starting to get lifted, let go.
Unbelievable start to round number 1. And I tell you, this has been a great start to this event because it's fun to watch in the first round. We see this a lot on television, and we see this a lot when the guys get into title fights. They get a little nervous. Watch how aggressive Horace is right here, coming after the taller competitor.
Yeah, and you see him, look at this, hips under him, and watch, the guillotine's on one side, he's gonna drop him all the way to the other, that way the guillotine has no more effect. Strong, but technical, I like seeing that. You see, look, feet moving across the cage the whole time.
Aaron Better at 6'1", when you're in the cage with these guys, he's really tall compared to Horace, but I mean the aggression that Horace has, this always is the thing, is that you never want to pick on the tall guy.
No, you don't, but if I'm the tall guy in this fight, after what happened in round 1, I'm thinking to myself, I need to lower my level a little bit. I can't be so ramrod straight that he can just dive in up under me and then give me some frequent flyer miles.
And Better, the more he wants to stay up, he wants to be the striker. Horace wants to get him on the ground, and right now Horace has been the leader in this.
But you know what? Forget about your jab at this point.
That's right.
Stop the takedown.
Survive.
And learn how to create some distance.
Absolutely. Here we go, round number 2. They meet in the middle of the ring here on top of the Domino's logo. Right off the bat, striking from Better and Horace.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that strategy that he came out with here. Oh, you see it again. He threw a wild overhand
Just wasn't even close.
And Horace ducked under it and got it. You can tell Horace, again, if he doesn't have a wrestling background, he has acclimated to the game quickly because it is a natural fit for him. You can even see it in their body types, Better, long, lanky, and then you have Horace, shorter, compact, bigger leg, bigger sort of muscles in tight spaces.
The last time I saw Andrew fight was out at the Convention Center. You were out there for that fight also, and he lost a tough one to Tony Campos, but it looks like he's in control right here.
Yeah, actually, great job here creating a cradle by Better, but he can't seem to hold on to it. That's what I wanted to see. Stuffing the takedown, now go for the offense. This is where you have to shine. You got him down. A disciplined knee to the body would do quite a bit here.
Oh, good right from Aaron Better.
Look at this, Horace beginning to wilt.
This is a difference of one round you're aggressive, and then the next round you're not in shape.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of proactive offense. I'm also a big fan of cardio.
Yeah, a marathon fight and not the sprint fight.
It's good to be first, but if you're just going to gas out, maybe it's not.
Yeah, look at Better now. He's just putting his weight on him. That 6'1" body comes into play now.
Watch out, though. He might get Kimura, who's getting a little bit lazy with the left arm positioning. He needs to drive his left hip down.
Aaron Better in the red gloves.
In the blue gloves.
Aaron Better.
He's in bad shape, man.
Oh, yeah.
And he can't roll because he's in shape with the cage. He's going to get turned here.
Andrew Horace.
Nicely done.
Blue gloves out of Disciple MMA.
He was able to post the far side arm and then keep the Kimura with one arm, basically, not to finish it, but to help turn him over.
Andrew in the blue gloves, back on top of Better. Now both guys look exhausted to me, Luke. And you talked about this in our last event about the difference between mouth breathing and nose breathing.
Yeah, when you see a guy 2 rounds in, he's breathing through his nose, that's a great indication he's in good shape. Now, if you have a nose injury, well, okay, someone's going to breathe through their mouth.
Right.
But if you see a guy, we're only 2 minutes, 3 minutes into the second round, and they're already sucking wind, that's not necessarily the best sign.
Using that cage, and we've talked about that before. The cage is coated, but it still hurts when you get grated on that, like a cheese grater.
It's really not a lot of fun.
Yeah. Both guys right in front of the table now.
Some fairly lax positioning there from Horace.
Look at this on top of Better. He's got to make it 20 more seconds. Horace.
Better didn't sink his hips in with the hook, so if he could just muscle some energy up, Horace could just sit up here.
Oh, good elbow. Oh, good rights from Better. He's got to make it 10 more seconds. That's the end of round number 2. There must be something wrong with the horn to end the rounds. I'm not hearing the ending of the rounds. They usually use the air horn, and we're just not hearing it over here at the table. I'm glad that Todd is hearing it, the referee, because Better would have just kept swinging away here.
Yeah, that's why you got to have a good, nice, experienced referee to protect these guys.
Yeah, and Todd McGovern, been around a long time, repped a lot of events here and in other countries. Let's take a look at Horace here as he gets winded, but watch Better here just kind of take control. Right over the top first right off the bat for Horace.
Yeah, nice sort of like a modified high crotch here. Gets his tables turned a little bit. This was the chance for Better. A lot of guys seem reluctant to throw knees to the body. They are devastating and legal. And you saw there he had the back. Horace was showing him his back, but he didn't sink Better didn't sink his hooks in. I would have liked to see a little bit more control, and that way you can really not only better enable yourself for balanced strikes, you can actually wear someone out that way.
And all of this comes from experience. I feel like both these guys, 2-3 more years fighting opponents like this, not fighting chumps, fighting guys that actually can fight you.
I mean, look at them. They look like they're well-conditioned.
Yeah.
They're well-trained. Just got to get the finer points down.
Here we go. Third and final round of this event.
Both of them moving a little bit more gingerly this round.
Third round, Todd McGovern sends him to the middle, right on top of the Domino's logo.
But you know, that's what the fans pay for. They want to see 2 guys win or lose. Give me what you got.
That's right.
Go out there and show me what you have. That's exactly what they've done.
And here we go. We talk about how long these fights are. People look, they go 3 minutes of fighting for 3 rounds.
Yeah, people have no idea. I've seen guys who are marathon runners come in and they're gassed after 2 rounds just like that. And look, he's still got enough energy to get up under Better, drive him up, and then drive him down.
Unbelievable. 155 pounds up over his shoulder, 6'1", and slams him to the mat for the 3rd time. That's just points.
I will say, I like how he's wrapping the head here and then sort of pushing off the cage to try and come out the back or at least reverse position. Good job. You got to stand. There you go.
Oh, he almost caught a knee to the face.
Fantastic job here by, look, it looks like they're both kind of tired. I think Better, though, is the fresher.
Yeah, I do, too. Better on top in the red gloves, Andrew Horace in the blue gloves. Both guys 155 pounds.
But if you're Better, you need to step away. Block, either go for a submission or create distance and step away. This is still, even tired, this is probably still Horace's world.
Absolutely.
If you're going to stay down there, launch some offense at the same time.
Both fighters right in the middle of the cage on their backs.
You know what's kind of funny, too? The first round obviously belonged to Horace. I would still give him the second one. That was pretty close, wasn't it?
It was close, and I wasn't sure towards the end. If this fight wasn't coming down to the end, I think he might have tapped. He was just taking rights to the face.
So this is going to be a really, really tough fight to score if it goes all 3 rounds.
And if this goes all 3 rounds, this is one of those ones that we talk about where everybody thinks they won this, and nobody understands how they lost this fight.
Right. Well, when you do so many good things in a fight, you forget about all the bad things you did.
Tom McGovern stands both fighters up, not really sure why. They just stood him up.
Yeah, not my favorite stand-up in the world. I thought even if you're not necessarily passing guard, if you're launching effective offense from guard.
Better was still throwing blows.
Yeah, not my favorite move. But look at this. The left knee was wide open for Better if he wanted. But look, he didn't have an underhook, and now he's giving up his back. You need to have good underhook control. It's the most important thing. Inside fighting, both from strikes and from control, it's everything.
And that's just inexperience. He needed to lock that in, and he was golden. And then he turns it over to Horace, who's now on top and the more aggressor, which looks great to the judges.
It does. Again, this is going to be a crazy fight to score.
I'm glad I don't have to judge this one.
Yeah, you just can't stay underneath like that. The left knee, the right knee, for just a moment there. Now, not so much. But before, he could have used an elbow escape, but maybe he's too tired or he just thinks he can hold on and win the round.
Here we go, 10 seconds left in round number 3. Cagezilla here in Ashburn, Virginia. Tom McGovern watching close, the referee, and there it is.
Great fight. Great fight.
What an amazing fight. This is why people out here pay the money to watch these fights. We put on a great event. You guys have to come out and watch. That was amazing. I love it. And look, both fighters feel like they won this fight. This is going to be a tough one. All right. When we come back, we'll give you the winner. The judges have the cards. You want to never leave it to them, Luke. You never want to leave it to them.
Always a bad idea.
We'll let you know who wins this. Coming up right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the judges have scored this fight a split decision. 29-28, 28-30, and 28-29. Winner out of the blue corner is Andrew Horace!
Tough fight. Certainly Horace earned it. He was a little bit more aggressive, giving up bad positions, but in that third round, pulled it out, got on top when he needed to. Fantastic takedowns, both showing great strength, great technique, following through when he could initially hit it, lifting, a wide array of things. You see here, Better had his moments working from sort of the turtle position there. And here you see perfect timing from Horace, lifting and then turning him on his side. That way he lands perfectly cross body. Good job here by Better on top, trying to throw some ground and pound, but wasn't able to pass guard, got stood up. And here you go, Horace is your winner. We'll have more results when we come back. This is Cagezilla.